I look like a tired man? Never.
Every step of a giant is a long jump for a dwarf. Man has a future.
So this is my generation with the gift. The teaching gift. There's nothing you do that will stop doing it. Because anything that is valuable is honorable. If you know what God has called you to do, in that thing there is greatness. What God will not show you how. You will serve your way into it.
Jesus had a choice and the chance to choose the specific circumstances of his birth. Look at what he chose. God is not a magician, he's a miracle worker. This is the labor dimension of faith that most people do not want. Yes, it's God speaking to me, but he's using my brain and my mind too to speak.
If somebody tell you it's not about sweating, it's about sweating, my friend. You need to sweat. Jesus sweated. I choose to follow Jesus. I will follow you.
You know not of. Every time we pray, there is a response from heaven. That is one of the reasons we pray. He said, unto him that answered prayers shall all flesh gather. So we are praying because there is a God that answers. That was the demonstration of faith that Elijah manifested when he was contending with the prophets of Baal and the prophets of Grove. He told them, I give you from morning to evening, pray, let your God send down fire. And they were praying. Elijah was making mockery of them. They said, maybe your God traveled. And the guy was quiet all day. These guys prayed, they cut themselves, blood came out, no answer. No answer because there is no God anywhere to answer. But when Elijah showed up, he didn't take 10 minutes. He set up the altar in order to show them that, oh, this thing is not a spark from anywhere. He drenched the altar with water. He did everything that negated the protocol of fire. When the altar was drenched, Elijah stood. He didn't speak for up to 2 minutes. Fire fell from heaven. So as far as Elijah is concerned, prayer is a dialogue between a man and his God. He speaks to his God hears, and his God responds to him, and he also hears. And on the strength of that, spiritual possibilities are communicated. And that's not all about prayer. Prayer is also a weapon that God gives to the believer in order to change things in his world. Because there is a type of prayer you pray where you are not talking to God, you are talking to things. When you talk to God, is fellowship. But when you talk to things, is dominion. And so in Mark chapter 11 from verse 23, Jesus himself was teaching us about prayer and faith. And here is what he said. He said, for verily I say unto you, that whatsoever ye shall say, whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed and be thou cast into the sea, and shall not doubt in his heart. He said, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass. He said, he shall have whatsoever he says. And verse 24, hear what Jesus said. He said, therefore I say unto you. So the first part is the faith part. The faith part is don't doubt in your heart. So prayer is not about talking. Prayer is about believing. Don't doubt. If you doubt in your heart, you may speak very intelligently, there will be no result. So many people have intelligent things to say, but there's no confidence in their spirit. So if you want to doctor your prayer, therefore, to produce result, before talking, work on your spirit, man. The moment your spirit becomes sure, then anything you say, you will have it. This is a code Jesus gave to us who believe in his name. And then he went to verse 24, he said, therefore I say unto you, what things soever ye desire. You won't have it because you desire it. That means desire alone is not enough. After you have desired, it said when you pray, believe that you have received them. Don't just believe randomly. He said believe that you are already in possession. He said then you will have what you say. This is to let you know that prayer is a spiritual infrastructure designed for your advantage. Number one, it helps you connect to God to receive superior intelligence from the realm of God in order to be ahead of your generation. And number two, it fortifies you with authority to change things on the earth, negating your advancement. But how many of us are making progress by prayer? Very few. In fact, for some of us, prayer is burdensome, because when we go to pray, we want to beat time. We don't want to receive. We don't want to change things. We don't want to travel. We don't want to see. But this is an advantage. Every Christian who knows this makes prayer a part of his life. So you shouldn't motivate a Christian to pray. The blessedness of prayer is the motivation for prayer.